Dickens published his novels in installments, as most Victorian authors did. The Old Curiosity Shop was one of his most popular novels during his lifetime. It aroused such interest that Dickens's readers rushed into New York's harbor to wait for the ship that brought the next installment of the story of Little Nell and her grandfather, the owner of the Old Curiosity Shop. Nell is a sweet, fragile young girl whose courage and determination surprise the narrator. One night I had roamed into the city and was walking slowly on in my usual way, musing upon a great many things, when I was arrested by an inquiry, preferred in a soft, sweet voice that struck me very pleasantly. I turned hastily round and found at my elbow a pretty little girl who begged to be directed to a certain street at a considerable distance, and indeed in quite another quarter of the town. "It is a very long way from here," said I, "my child." "I know that, sir," she replied timidly. "I am afraid it is a very long way, for I came from there tonight." "Alone?" said I, in some surprise. "Oh, yes, I don't mind that, but I am a little frightened now, for I had lost my road." "And what made you ask it of me? Suppose I should tell you wrong?" "I am sure you will not do that," said the little creature. "You are such a very old gentleman, and walk so slow yourself." I cannot describe how much I was impressed by this appeal, and the energy with which it was made, which brought a tear into the child's clear eye, and made her slight figure tremble as she looked up into my face. "Come," said I, "I'll take you there." She put her hand in mine as confidingly as if she had known me from her cradle, and we trudged away together. The little creature accommodating her pace to mine, and rather seeming to lead and take care of me than I to be protecting her. Though more scantily attired than she might have been, she was dressed with perfect neatness, and betrayed no marks of poverty or neglect. "Who has sent you so far by yourself?" said I. "Someone who is very kind to me, sir." She walked on, growing more familiar with me as we proceeded, and talking cheerfully by the way, but she had no more about her home. Clapping her hands with pleasure and running on before me for a short distance, my little acquaintance stopped at the door, and remaining on the step till I came up, knocked at it when I joined her. When she had knocked twice or thrice, there was a noise as if some person were moving inside. It was an old man with long grey hair, whose face and figure, as he held the light above his head and looked before him as he approached, I could plainly see. Though much altered by age, I fancied I could recognize in his spare and slender form something of that delicate mould which I had noticed in the child. Their bright blue eyes were certainly alike, but his face was so deeply furrowed and so very full of care that here all resemblance ceased. The door being opened, the child addressed him as grandfather, and told him the little story of our companionship. "Why, bless thee, child," said the old man, patting her on the head, "how couldst thou miss thy way? What if I had lost thee, Nell?" I would have found my way back to you, grandfather, said the child boldly. Never fear,